Hello! Today we're going to talk about beading for beginners. The first thing you are going to need if you are going to start beading necklaces or bracelets or earrings or whatever, you're going to need an excellent light. And the light that I have here is this type. I got it at Walmart. It's like $20 or something. And the next thing I want to talk to you is about chain. You're going to need chain usually, and you have to be careful what kind of chain you get. Take this one for instance. You see how fine that is? You can't loop things through it. So this would be an example of not the right type of chain to get. Let's see what this is. It doesn't really specify the type of chain it is, but anyway, compare it to this one for instance. This is the better chain. This is the one that you want to get. As you can see, the holes in it are going to be a lot easier to work with. You're going to be able to loop things through it like jump rings and so on. It's blurring for some reason. I'm sorry about that. So be very careful about the type of chain that you get. Also, if you're going to be working with cord or whatever, make sure you're getting the right type of cord. Okay, you're also going to need some, in the beading world, we call this findings. Here, I'm going to try to put some more light down on that. Good examples would be, okay, you've got jump rings. These are large, medium, and small. So take a good look at those jump rings, okay? And then you're going to need closures, like this is a toggle right here, and then this right here is the lobster claw, which is my personal favorite. I love the lobster claw. And then that's the classic one, which I ain't really crazy about. And you're also going to need some charms. That's just an example of one. And then depending on what type of material you're using, these are crimps. These are like for cords, but you know, I still have some even though I don't really work with cord. And then you're going to need eye pins and head pins. Now this is a head pin. The head pin doesn't have a loop on the end of it. It looks kind of like a tiny little nail. Okay, you see that? That's why they call it a head pin. Okay, that's two of them actually. Let me see if I can separate that. There, so you can see. That would be more used to make a charm that doesn't need two open ends, like an earring or something like that, like a drop earring. Now these are eye pins. This is what you need to be using if you're going to be making these, okay, in order to do a chain, eye pin, bead, jump ring sort of method. And then of course fish hooks to make earrings. And also you're going to need these are pendants, so you're going to need some type of pendants. And I think the best thing to do is to get the pendants you want and then get the beads to match the pendants rather than trying to do it the other way around. Here I have an assortment of beads. This is Kambaba Jasper. I have 3 little jars of those. This is rhodolite. I have 2 of those. This is probably the more expensive ones. This is Burma Jade. Okay, and this is Sunstone. These are just silver beads. They're not sterling silver or anything like that. They're just alloy. This is Ocean Jasper, and I have some Tiger Eye here. I have some yellow citrine here. I have some pink opal here. I have Picasso stone here. And you want to make sure you get different sizes of these beads also, because you will need different sizes to do different things and have different effects. These are toggle closures. These are some smaller silver beads. And these are bead caps, and this is some rose quartz, I'm sorry. So that's just some of the beads I have. So what I did was I figured out what kind of pendants I wanted, and then I bought beads to match. So you're also going to need things like crimp tubes, okay, and of course lobster clasps. I talked about those earlier. Crimp beads, which is a little different than crimp tubes, and of course anything that you have in silver you might also want to have in the gold tone. Okay, so I have the same things in gold tone that I have in silver tone. And here's some more of those fish hooks. And then of course you're going to need tools. Okay, back to the discussion of tools. I bought this nice little toolbox. I really like this one. It has just about everything you need. Bent nose pliers, needle nose pliers, round tip pliers, a flush cutter, which is very important, tweezers and scoop, and a bead reamer. Okay, so here would be your tweezers and scoop. This would be your bead reamer. This would be your flush cutter. And this would be your needle nose. And then this would be just the regular pliers. And then here you have more. So they all serve a different purpose and they're all important. So I think it's good to get that little kit of 6. Okay, I'll get that out of the way. Then of course you're going to need some jewelry, metal glue. This comes in handy for certain things. If you're going to be using beading wire, you're going to need something to secure the end of the beading wire while you bead. Some people just use some tape, okay? And some people actually buy a special little gadget that goes on the end of your wire that keeps your beads secure on the wire while you're beading so they don't slip off. Usually people like to get the 20 gauge. I have the 24. I don't use it much, but you know, it's there. And then this is a bead crimper, and this is going to be important for your crimp beads and your crimp tubes. It's made special, so you're going to need it if you're going to do anything that requires that. And then you can also, if you're going to do charms that are stamped, okay, that's a little charm right there, and then that's a little hammer. There's actually a kit that you can buy, and these have little letters on them, and you can stamp things onto that little doodad there, that little charm. You could stamp the word love or whatever. So I'm going to show you a necklace now that I'm going to make, and I consider it a beginning necklace. Okay, this particular project I'm going to be using of course a charm or a pendant. This is rough cut emerald, okay, and these run anywhere from like $5 to $10 maybe, depending on where you buy them. And then I have a piece of chain here that's about 4 inches long, and then I'm going to join it to this see, this is the eye pin, and it's been curled on the other end after it was beaded. Okay, and as you can see, the beads are graduated. I have a small silver, medium silver. Then I have a Burma jade there, and then a medium silver and a small silver. And as you can see, there's little eyes on each end that I can slip a jump ring into to connect it to the chain. So that's the name of the game here. So then, of course, I have looks like about a 2-inch piece of chain there, and then another one of these, and then I have like the remaining chain here goes all the way to 12 inches because I'm making a 24-inch necklace. As you can see here, the pendant starts at 0, and then I have everything laid out to where it's going to be a 24-inch necklace. So I have the same thing going on here. This, by the way, this chain in the middle is one piece, okay? And then I have that here, and then I have like a piece of chain here that I'm going to join these two, and then I'm going to join this one to this, and of course it goes up to 12 inches also. And then I'm going to probably finish it with a lobster clasp, unless the person I'm making it for says they want a toggle clasp or a regular clasp. These are terrible. I think they should just be outlawed. I hate those regular round clasps. I think the toggle or the lobster is best. And so, stay tuned. Okay, now we're going to be making one of these. You're going to need 4 for each necklace, but I'm just going to show you how to assemble one. First, you're going to need an eye pin, so make sure it has a hole at the end, alright? Because you're going to be taking your needle nose pliers after you've beaded it, And you're going to be using it to curl this into a P shape. Then it's going to be cut with what's called a flush cutter. You have to have a flush cutter to do this. And then this is my other set, which I use to help stabilize and hold jump rings on one end. I use this on one end of the jump ring, and then this one on the other end of the jump ring, the needle nose. Okay, so I'm just going to show you how I assemble one of these. Okay, they're already assembled, but I'm just going to show you. And please excuse my fingernails. I've been cleaning, so they look terrible, but that's because I've been cleaning. I don't always have hands like this. Okay, so there's a small silver bead, and you can use whatever bead you like, whatever's in your budget and whatever's in your interest. Plastic, glass, gemstones, doesn't matter, whatever you want to use. This is just like an example of how to make this necklace. Okay, and then there's my Burma jade. Okay, so I have a small, medium, a Burma jade, and then I'm going to do another medium on the other side of that Burma jade. Okay, and then a small. All right, and then it's time to curl the other end using the needle nose pliers. And everybody does this differently. I have a way that I do it. It's going to be a little hard for me because I'm trying to do this on camera, but what I do is I take and I turn it, okay, away from me, just a little bit, just like a little half turn like that, all right? And I have, you see, I have it all the way down at the end, and I'm holding it as tight as I can. Then I'm going to take this wire and I'm going to pull it towards me, holding it all the while with the needle nose plier. And then I'm going to use my fingers, okay, and I'm going to bend it all the way around, okay, until I have this right here. Now, I want these to be about the same on both ends. Now, this is already, comes from the manufacturer this way. And then this side, it looks about the same, so I'm satisfied with that. Then I'm going to take my flush cutter, okay, and I'm going to go as close to this. Actually, I need to squeeze this closed a little bit more. I'm seeing now that I'm looking at it off camera that it's a little bit larger, and I want to make it just a little bit smaller, so I'm just going to kind of, this takes some practice, by the way, but once you get good at, okay, that's much better, that's much better. All right, then I'm going to take my flush cutter, and I want to make this cut right here. Of course, it's going to wiggle around on me and give me a hard time, but make sure you don't cut your fingers with this flush cutter, okay? It can really hurt. All right, so as you can see, I have this little P shape here. All right, and it's a complete loop, and then it's kind of bent, and so I'm going to take my regular pliers, and I'm just going to kind of mash it flat, okay? So now I have eyes on each end. I really need to take my flush cutter, and I need to trim this down a little bit more, which is kind of hard with my camera set up. But anyway, like I said, don't get your fingers in there. If you can't get to it, what you might have to do, which I'm having that problem right now, is take your pliers, okay, and bend this away a little bit, okay, so that you can reach the very end of this. There. Now, that looks a little better. Alright. It doesn't look so handmade when you have it like that. Okay, so that's how you assemble one of these. Alright. Actually, I could make another one of these and hook it onto this earring here. Okay. If I had used a head pin instead of an eye pin, because that looks weird right there. So to make the earrings, I would have wanted to use a head pin. But anyway, just an idea. Alright. Now I'm going to show you how to do the jump rings. How to join everything together. Okay, I'm going to take this chain right here, and I'm going to, bless my heart, I'm going to put it through there right like that, okay? And I've decided that this is the side that, you know, I want to face up for display. Okay, and I'm going to grab a jump ring, and for this part and for this type of chain right here, I prefer the small jump rings, and I'm going to need like 8 of these little tiny jump rings. And you need good eyesight, okay, because you need, sorry, I dropped one. You need to be able to see so that you can pull the jump ring apart. Sorry, my camera is moving around because I keep hitting it with everything. But anyway, I'm going to need two pairs of pliers for this because this jump ring is so small. And what I have to do is I have to pull it apart. Okay, and as you can see now it's pulled apart. Alright? Then I'm going to take this right here, this part of chain right here. I hope you can see this. And I'm going to loop it through the first hole. Alright? And then I'm going to take the eye pin, I'm going to take the round end right there. Then, now that I've got these hooked together, now all I have to do is push the jump ring back together. Okay? There. And then I'm going to do the same thing here. Alright, I'm going to use a jump ring right here to connect that part of the chain. And it takes a little practice to learn these jump rings. Alright, I have to find the end. Okay, there's my end. There's the opening, okay. And I got pliers on this side, and you need really good fine motor skills and really good eyesight for this, even with the best of lights and the best of tools. See, I pulled that apart, alright. And then I'm going to take this chain here, which is about an inch long. By the way, these chain pieces that go in between, they need to be perfectly the same length. Alright, so you have to make sure that they're perfectly the same length or your necklace will look kind of off. Okay, and then I've got to take this right here. I almost took the wrong one. Alright, and join it to this side. There we go. I got to get it just the right angle. Okay, I hope y'all can see this. And then I'm going to... oh, well, okay. Let me try this again. Okay, let me get my... okay, this is getting harder as I'm getting older. I'm just not going to lie to you at all. Alright, and then I'm going to take my pliers on both sides of the jump ring, and for some reason it's not wanting to cooperate with me today. And what in the world? Okay, and I'm going to push the jump ring back together. Alright, like so. And then you have to make sure that there's no gaps or spaces or anything like that the chain can fall through or anything like that. And you have to make sure that you're dead center. Sometimes you have a defective jump ring, and I think that's the case here, or I warped it in the process, and so I might need to change that jump ring because I see a little tiny gap there. Okay, but anyway, I'm not going to worry with that right now. And as you can see, this has kind of come apart here, so I have to put this back in, and then I have to go to the other side and repeat. Okay, and so here we go. Well, okay, there we go. Alright, so now I have to get another jump ring, and these things are small. They're little teeny tiny jump rings. Oh, I have this problem a lot when I'm trying to work on camera. I can't, it's just so hard. I can do this like so fast when I'm not on camera. Okay, here we go. I'm going to pull the jump ring apart. Wow. There we go. And then I'm going to put this into the chain on here, right? And I'm making sure it's at the very last link, and it is. All right. And then another set of beads, and then close the jump ring. Alright, make sure it's closed, and it's really hard for me to see that because I'm working on camera, but anyway, so this is how it should look now. Alright, so we have, I know it's kind of all over the place right now, so I have to join this chain here to this side, so we'll have symmetry here. Alright, and that's how you continue on up the necklace until it's time to join it with the closure. Okay, and so here we go, another jump ring, open the jump ring. It's really hard because of these pliers. Okay, and the very small area I'm working in here, I have to pull it apart more. That's not enough. You don't want to pull it too far apart, because if you do, you can warp it, and then your necklace can come apart, and then you have to fix it by using another fresh jump ring. So try not to move them too far apart. That may be too far, I'm not sure. Let's find out. Just, you want barely enough to where you can just put on there what you need to put on there without warping your jump ring. Alright? Okay. So there we have that. Sorry, the camera is wiggling around. Okay. So now let's see what we have here. Let me see if I can get it all centered now so we can tell more what it looks like. Okay, alright. So we have all of that on both sides. Now it's time to join these and then join the chain. Okay. So we're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4 more small jump rings, and I do have those here. So you can watch me join this together. All right. So here we go. We need to get the other side of this necklace, or the other side of this chain, the very last link. Oh, what a pain. All right. And there. Okay. Close it up. Make sure it's good and closed. All right. Now go to the other side. Do the same thing. Jump ring. This to me is kind of the hardest part, is working with these really small jump rings. You can use bigger ones. You can. But they're going to be a little bit more conspicuous. Oh, I might have gone too far with that one. We'll see. Okay, we'll see. We'll see. All right. So here we go onto the chain, very last link, and then add the beads. Okay. And then close it back up. Oh, I hope I didn't warp it. I hope I didn't go too far with this one. Looks okay. Alright, and then I have to join these two. Alright. Okay, as you can see here now, everything is connected. And I have the chains all measured up and everything looks good, except when I finally got everything stretched out, I noticed that this side was a little longer, so I have to cut it to match this side, okay, before I add the closures. Okay, now it's time to add the closures. Okay, so I'm going to take one end, okay, and I'm going to be adding a medium-sized jump ring. Alright, so I'm going to go in here and I'm going to pick up a medium-sized jump ring. Just one, not 12, okay. And then these are going to be a little easier to work with, okay, because you can see them better. You can work with them better. Alright, and I'm going to take my needle nose and my regular pliers, and I'm going to open that, okay. Then I'm going to thread the chain onto the jump ring at the very end, okay. And, well, alright. And then the lobster closure, lobster claw, whatever they call it. Alright, and then I'm going to close it back. Alright. Okay, so that's that. Alright. Now I'm going to take the other end, and I'm going to take a medium jump ring, okay, and I'm going to open the medium jump ring. Try not to warp it this time like I did the other one. Okay, there we go. And gonna slip the other end, the other side, through this. Okay. Well, okay. Nothing cooperates me when I'm working on camera. Okay. Cooperates with me. What am I even saying right now? Okay. So here we go. Wow. Alright. So I'm gonna put that back together like that. Okay, and here we have it. Okay, we can now fasten our necklace together. Okay, there we go. And there's the pendant. Okay, so we have natural raw emerald, okay, and then we have these silver beads, and then we have this Burma jade. So this is basically an emerald and jade on silver chain, okay, using a lobster clasp closure there. And when I make a necklace, after I make it, I give it a good shake test, and I pull on it some in different directions and stuff to check the connections to make sure that the necklace isn't going to, and see, I found a weak connection right there. And what that usually means is that I warped a jump ring. So what I have to do is get myself another jump ring and reconnect that, and I'm good. So that's why you want to test your necklaces to make sure that you've connected your jump rings well and that you didn't warp them too much, because you may have to replace one. Then after you do that, you want to test the necklace again by shaking it around and everything, but be careful not to tangle the chain. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know if it helped you make this type of necklace. Oh, by the way, the reason that I don't take a cord or a chain and put beads all the way around it is because I want to be able to make several necklaces, okay, with just one strand of beads. And so this is a more economical way to make this necklace. So thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye. So this is the finished product, okay, and it looks pretty good. And as I was explaining before, if you will, when you make necklaces, especially if you're making them to sell, if you will bead some and maybe use more chain than you use bead, it's more economical. You can make more necklaces, and you can give people a much better pendant, okay, when you use this method, instead of stringing beads all the way around a cord or a chain or whatever. So like I said, it just depends on your preferences and your budget and what it is you're trying to do. And again, I thank you for watching this video. Bye-bye.